Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And look who's back. It's Cleo the Seer. And welcome to Kitchen Table Issues. Yay!
Yeah, we haven't done this for a while,
I
especially
know.
there was the holidays and the election and a lot of interfering things, but we're back. And Colleen Colleen the Cool Crone. She used to be with us all the time, but this schedule, it just is not good for her. It would mean doing the show at 9 o'clock her time, and also she's got to get up the next day for work. And
Exactly.
she just can't do it. But she sends
Yep.
her best regards and hopes that the show goes well.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. And yeah, you know what? Things can always change in the future, but for now, it is what it is. And I know both of us honor everyone's choices, whatever their choices happen to be going forward, and how they want to do their channels and what they want to focus on and whatnot. And that's fine because we need that, right? We need that diversity and encouragement to spread your wings, do something different.
Well, and that's it exactly. And her channel has really taken off, and she has to spend more time doing solo
Yes.
videos and focusing on astrology and tarot. And
Yes.
um, yeah, I'm so proud of her. She's doing so well.
She is. She is. I think it's absolutely fabulous. And I couldn't be happier for her. When I yeah, once she reached over 10,000, holy,
Yeah, and it
that's
came so
fabulous.
fast.
Yeah,
Once it started going, it actually took it took several
yeah,
years to even get past 2,000. But then once it kind of built up at 4 or 5,000, it just took off. It just
yes.
took off. Which, by the way, everybody, Colleen, the Cool Crone, and I will be doing a show tomorrow for polyterology. So be sure and come to that one too.
Excellent. Wonderful. And yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We've got teacher Barbara. Mousy is here. Fallon is here. Dawn Turner. Hello, Dawn. Artist Liz. Hey, Liz. Becky Stone. Kathleen Bourgeois. Barbara Nesper. Tea Garden Chicken. Hello. So, yeah, thank you. Book. Hello, Book. So, yeah, thank you for joining us. Those of you that are kind of just sitting back and you just kind of want to listen, that's fine too. We welcome everyone here. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well, and
with
I know that everybody's a little um, disheartened.
mhm,
Things have not gone the way we wanted them to go. Um, and I know they're wondering, what were we talking about and how did it turn out this way? And I have an answer to that.
uh-huh, yes, and I do too. And I just want to remind everyone, we did not get it wrong.
Right.
We did not get it wrong. So, despite what you might be seeing and hearing and so on, I firmly believe we did not get it wrong. So there we go.
Yeah. And
Hello, Mary Epperson and McGrill. Hey, McGrill. And McGrill, you are one of my members, and I don't have your email address. So if you would like to, please send an email to heartcentertarot@outlook.com. Then I'll have your email, and I can keep you informed on some things that usually I'll put up on the community page, and I'm not sure everyone sees it. So I like to send out those personalized emails. So there. And Sunflower Down Under, Norm Gilbert, hello. Thank you for joining us. So, um, the housekeeping out of the way. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you go over to Cleo's channel and do the same for her. Like, share, and subscribe. Do the thumbs up, right? Because that it really does help the algorithm, and it helps us to get our message out in front of the people who need to hear, who want to hear what we have to say. They just don't know where we are. So anytime that you do that, you help the algorithm and you get us out in front of more people. And that is absolutely fabulous. So I thank you for that. I will be on tomorrow night we'll be on my channel, but Allie, Heart and Soul Connected, is going to join me because it's story in the cards. And oh boy, do we have a lot to read on. And then Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the third Shine Your Light event.
Oh.
So please join me. If you want to know more about the Shine Your Light event, I do have it on my community tab. It's a way for like-minded people to gather together to concentrate on love, light, compassion, and unity, sending it out into the world wherever it might be needed, whoever might need it, and reaches the world. It goes out into the universe. So the best part is when we reach 7 o'clock in each one of the time zones, just before that, we'll say a little prayer, set the intention to send out that love, light, compassion, and unity. And then we'll ask you to turn your porch light on. Put a lamp in the window. Put, if you've got artificial candles or something, the electronic ones, put it in a prominent window. Leave it on all night, right? And so that from 7 Eastern, and then again 7 Central, 7 Mountain, 7 Pacific, just imagine that you can see rolling across the country lights coming on. And
Cool.
when we do this together, it enhances the energy. We can do miracles. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So there's that. And Norm Gilbert, hello. Tinkerbell, hello. Julie, Joan Baker, I think I've got everyone. I don't think, Mimini, hello. Yeah. And okay, I don't think that I missed anyone, but if I did, please never take it personally. It just, these tired eyes can only focus on things. Yeah, they get my attention.
Can you put up what Mimi says here about there is no way everyone got it wrong? When it comes out in the wash, everyone would have been right. Yes. Okay. Because I kind of want to talk about this, and I thank Mimi for bringing it up this way.
Perfect.
Because I didn't get it wrong, but I got the timing off. This is a timing thing. And so, I being just a person waiting to see this ridiculous inauguration and thinking that maybe it wasn't even going to happen. Everything I was picking up on at that time, I just fell into it as thinking it meant because of the inauguration, because it needed to happen at that time. I put too much logic into it. And my timing, well, just about everybody's timing's a little bit goofy, but my timing is really off because there's so many things that have come up in the past that I had predicted months and months ago. And at that time, I tell you, when I bring in some of this information from my guides, it feels like it's happening right now.
Yeah.
That this, information right now. And it's not. It's just information coming to me, and I have, I was, my timing was off.
Yes.
But it's, and also the energy around this thing has been so absolutely hectic that what is happening yesterday changes today, and what's happening today changes tomorrow. It's slowing down a bit, thank God, because since we did get through the inauguration. And since that guy is definitely in office now and making all kinds of he's just crazy. But anyway, yeah, I
Yeah.
just, you know, and I apologize for having the timing off, but there's a whole bunch of things still in the works, and
Yeah.
uh, but it is probably different than what I thought it was last week or the week before. I mean,
Mhm.
it does change.
Yes. And don't forget, our perception of time is very linear. And there are multiple energies, multiple timelines happening at the same time. So we can be shifting timelines, and that accounts for a lot of the change in the energy and so on and so forth. But honestly, no, we didn't get it wrong. Um, Everybody out there has not only free will, but things happen according to universal timing. It doesn't happen according to our timing. What we perceive as time and the passage of 24 hours or a day or a week, whatever, does not exist in the quantum field. So, did we get it wrong? No, no. And I think that um, it really started to shift. I think when Joe Biden stepped down, I think that's when we all really felt the shift. So you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You have no idea who's talking to who and what they're putting together and how they're going to do things, and that's not something that you want to put out there to everyone. Hey guys, you know, don't let Cheeto know, but we're going to be doing this and this and this, right? No,
But there's so
no,
many things that came up when Joe Biden stepped down that at the time I was like, oh God, I don't
yeah,
feel good about this because there wasn't enough time. And,
yeah,
I see how everything worked out. You watch the timeline, the linear
yes,
timeline of how, Pelosi was really getting on his case about stepping down. And I'm thinking, do you guys have a plan? What is your plan? They
yeah.
didn't have a plan. They just told him he was too old and he should step down. Now, I kept looking at him thinking, God, he's just done everything in the world, but maybe they are right because his energy was looking pretty low. But
Yeah.
I felt that really, why didn't they do this like a year before that? What in the world? Why would you wait till the last minute to do that? However, when push comes to shove, God, Kamala did such an amazing job, just an amazing job. And in fact, I do believe, from what I picked up, that she did win.
Absolutely.
She won the electoral vote. She won the popular vote. And do you remember what it felt like when we first heard about Kamala coming in to run for president? And then
Yeah,
she started doing rallies. And I mean, everybody was so hyped up,
yeah,
and people were just giving money hand over fist.
yeah.
Like in the first 24 hours, she had something like, God, I can't even remember. I mean, it
Oh
was
no, it was like
amazing.
70, 80, $90 million. It
Yeah,
was incredible, incredible.
incredible. Yeah, and then she, eventually she gets up over a billion. Now they're still talking about a billion, but I heard her say one time uh, that she had actually gotten 2 billion.
Hmm.
And then it went through, that she was asking for more money to do a recount. I don't know if they ever did do a recount, because I think they found out that unless you know how to unless you can figure out where they screwed around with the voting,
Yeah, yeah.
which, I mean, Trump's told us just the other day that,
Yes, he
Elon
said the quiet part out loud.
Elon fixed it for him. Boy, I made sure I got the votes. And he's
Yes,
just, he just throws it in our face. And
yes,
it's just,
yes.
I am hoping someday that they will figure it out and find those votes. But if they don't, I do see that the voting system is changing and that they are going to be more aware, over the next 4 years, definitely the next voting time, the presidential election will be done a
Although,
little bit differently.
just before I came on here, I saw a little snippet of apparently there's a Republican, I think he is out of Tennessee, who has put forth a resolution to change part of the Constitution to make Trump eligible to run for a third term. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it going to go
That's not
anywhere?
going to happen.
No. No, it's not.
But I figured that they would do something like that.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, there's going to be some, a few rocky paths along the way, and now more than ever is when we need to buckle down and to carry on with the work. We need to be more determined to shine our light, to be there, to hold up that lantern for those that are going to come to realize some very inconvenient truths. They're going to realize that, for all of the promises that Cheeto made, he can't keep them.
Well, no, and we're seeing that. We saw that even before the inauguration about,
Yes.
He's bringing up such ridiculous things. And what we really want to know is when are grocery prices coming down?
Mhm.
When can we afford to go out for a steak dinner again? And he's finally said, well, they went, it's real hard to bring it back down. I'm like,
no shit, Sherlock.
Again, you lied to us. You lied to people to get them to vote for you. And now that they have, you're saying, well, it just might not happen.
I know. It's all of it is just it's just a big illusion. It's just a big illusion. And yes, Janet DC, and McGrill, Mega has to learn a hard lesson. Yes, they do. And I have said this for a long time, that it's going to be his own people that are going to bring him down, that are going to kind of hold him to account, because he has made them believe that there is, the problem isn't with them. The problem is with the other. The problem is with the immigrants. The problem is with these people and those people and so on. And so they believe him. They believe him because he is talking to them in a manner that they resonate with. Okay. He has given them permission to bring out the worst parts of themselves and to say, it's okay. Yes, I'm racist, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes, I'm this, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Right? So they have all self-identified with them. The problem is that while he's been doing that, he's been doing a lot of grifting and so on and so forth. And with this, his crypto coin and all that kind of stuff. they're going to continue to send him money till they got no money. Once they got no money, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? If he does do something with Social Security, and all of a sudden grandma doesn't get her check in the mail, or there's no deposit into her account, it was, well, what the hell? I voted for him. I thought he was going to take that money away from the immigrants and from the other people. I didn't, not me. And they're going to have to get to that point where they don't know where their next meal is going to come from, where they're facing eviction notices because they're not paying the rent, because they've got nothing coming in, where those people who have medical conditions can't afford to go to the doctor or cannot afford to buy their prescriptions because he might take away the Obamacare. And
Well, he's already taken away the insulin
yes,
for $35 a month.
yes,
He's already eliminated that. That is absolutely horrible. Just
it
horrible.
is. It is. And there's been, a few Mary Lou's and a few Bubbas out there who have, they were quite happy when they had that $35 cap. And they were going to thank Biden for it. No, no, no. Well, now when all of a sudden they can't afford their insulin, they can't afford their medication, why don't you write Mr. Trump a letter? Ask him if he could spot you a few bucks. Just come on. He's a billionaire. He's, all these things. He is it is his own supporters that are going to turn on him, right? And you want to link some of it to history. The Roman Empire was brought down by the Roman senators who said, no, we're supposed to be a democracy, and no, we don't have this. The France had the Russian, or France had the revolution. Why? Because they're, people with all the money were so far removed from the regular everyday Joe who was struggling just to put food on the table. Well, you had the French Revolution. What happened to a lot of the rich people? Well, apparently they lost their heads. Russia, same thing, where you've got, a nobility, and who turned against them was their own military. So, these things don't come from the outside, they come from within. And that's what he's going to find out. My only hope is that he lives long enough to appreciate that his own people turned on him. I have a feeling that he may not, but I'd like him to live just long enough to know that.
Yeah, me too. But all these things with the immigrants and what he's doing right now, where he's trying to take people that were born in the United States, they're citizens of the United States by birth.
Yes.
And he wants to get rid of them as well. And now we've got, at last I heard, 22 states, governors of 22 states,
Yeah.
or their attorney generals are suing the Trumps, are suing the White House, or the, whatever, because what he's doing goes against the Constitution of the United States, Amendment 14. And so there's those kind of things, when they come up, they have already threatened those states. They've told the states, if you don't do what we want you to do, there's consequences. Now, the guy that's handling this stuff with Trump, I mean, Trump's the one that put out the thing that said, this is what we're going to do. But this other guy is like his henchman, and they're going to threaten the states. Well, as soon as they start doing that kind of nonsense, my guess would be that they are going to Well, they might just threaten the people personally, or they're threatening the whole state and say, we're going to cut off any funding for certain federal programs because
Mhm.
you won't do what we want you to do. And they won't do what they want them to do because it's against the law. Most people that are in politics and in government answer to the United States Constitution. And
Mhm.
this is totally out of the Constitution. I am just hoping and praying that Trump just keeps digging himself in deeper and deeper and deeper,
Yeah.
because this is the kind of, if you've got 22 governors saying we're not going to do this because it's illegal, and
Mhm.
he still keeps pursuing it, and I know he's going to try to take it to the Supreme Court. That would mean the Supreme Court literally has to rewrite the Constitution
Yes.
of the United States, Amendment 14, which, by the way, Amendment 14 passed in 1866.
It's been around for a minute. It's been
Yeah,
around. And
and then
I think my if I was a senator and someone said to me, well, if you don't go along with this, yeah, we're not going to give you any federal funds. Hey, no problem. I'm not sending in my tax money. I'm not sending any money from this state to the federal government.
oh, Marina, that's a great idea. Would you mind writing to some of these governors?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just say, hey, no problem. No problem. We can't get anything from the federal government, then we're not going to contribute to the federal government.
So, and I would like to say that the Amendment 14 was for anybody born in the United States, they became a citizen, including the slaves. All the slaves became citizens.
Yeah.
So, to say that the immigrants can't be in this country because they're from another country, but yet they were born here. But the other people too. I mean, he's just this across the board. Let's hurry up, gather them all up, and deport them.
Mm-hmm.
This is just not. It's just not going to work out well.
No.
The thing about the tariffs with Canada, tariffs with Mexico at 25% tariff. The reason they're doing that is because they're saying because those countries are allowing immigrants that are rapists and criminals and bad people in from their country. And
Mm-hmm.
so he's slapping a tariff on them
Yep.
to make it stop. What the hell
Yep.
is that all about? That's just
Yep.
absolutely asinine, ridiculous, and
Sure.
it's not happening. There's no way that Canada or Mexico is saying, you know what, why don't you just go ahead and go to the United States just
Yeah.
to bug them,
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So
just to get under their skin a little bit. It's
yeah,
just crazy making. But this is the
it
kind
is.
of thing. It's the thing with Greenland. That he wants to
Yeah.
take over Greenland. He also wants to take over Mexico. He wants to take over the Panama Canal.
Everything.
All these
The whole
different.
world.
The more he keeps pushing it, and the more he keeps digging his heels in, saying, "This is what I'm going to do, and I can do it because I'm president, and you can't do a damn thing to me because I have blanket
Mhm.
immunity. I can do any damn thing I want."
Yep.
This is where the other people are finally, I think, especially the Democrats and even some of the Republicans are going to say, "Whoa, wait a minute! Now we've stepped over a line
Yeah.
that obviously changes our democracy to an authoritarian government, and nobody wants that. Nobody."
No, the only people who would want something like that would be those who would benefit financially from it, like the oligarchs. So, make yourself informed. Don't just be opinionated. Make yourself informed. Um, find out who, like Amazon. Are there other things you could use other than Amazon? Send that message to Jeff Bezos that, well, wait a minute, how come profits are down? How about picking going to put tariffs on Canada and whatnot. Okay, no problem. A lot of the eastern sea seacoast and other states that are kind of towards the east, they get their natural gas and their electricity from Canada. Oops. I'm sorry. There's no more available. I'm sorry. Right? So it's not like we are powerless in that we can't do anything. Will it, in the short term, will it hurt us? Yes, it probably will. But it's like dealing, when a family falls apart, and you've got two parents that divorce, and you've got kids that are in the middle. It doesn't take them very long to realize that they can ultimately win if they play one parent against the other, right? It isn't until the parents clue in and go, oh, really? Oh, okay. What did your mom say? What did your dad say? That all of a sudden the kids begin to behave. So it's very, very similar to that. Is okay.
Well, and what I've heard is that both Canada and Mexico are like 25%. Go for it.
Yeah,
We can sell our. You don't want Canadian steel. You don't want Mexican produce. That's
exactly.
fine. We can send we send our produce up to you by airplane. Those airplanes can go anywhere in the world, and we can
Yeah,
still sell our produce. The
yeah,
steel thing, boy, that would be a big, big problem for the United States
yeah.
unless they finally, if they got their own steel, if we got our own steel mills back on track.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe that's part of what Trump is trying
Sure.
to force, that
Well, maybe he could. There, you know what? Yes, let's bring steel back to the U.S. Oh, by the way, the wage for being a steel mill worker is going to be minimum wage. How many bubbas do you know that are going to sign up for that? That are going to say, "Oh yeah, 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 I'll work, I'll do that. I'll put in 10, 12 hours a day for um, for
what, 10,
minimum wage."
$12 an hour.
Oh yeah, yes, an hour.
I
No,
mean, the federal minimum wage is really ridiculous. I think it's like under
yes,
$8 an hour or something
yes.
ridiculous like that. The minimum wage in Washington State has changed just recently with our new governor and a whole bunch of new people, and it's like, and it's in Seattle, it's like over $20 an hour.
Hmm.
The problem with that, it's so high that it's running. A lot of businesses are going out of business. They can't
Yeah.
afford to stay open. But at least we're trying to do something. I don't know how they're going to fix that problem. But when you talk about minimum wage at a steel factory, or minimum wage
Because
at
he
Boeing
doesn't.
or something, I mean, no, that's not going to happen.
No, no, and it takes time to get those things up and running and so on and so forth. So again, people are going to be suffering. You want to impose a tariff? No problem. All of a sudden, those eggs that you can't afford today, well, you're sure ain't going to be able to afford them next month because they're going to triple in price. There are other things that, Canada can find other trading partners. So can Mexico,
Right.
right? We can find other trading partners. If he does decide to pull out of NATO, good riddance. Don't let the door hit you on the way out because now you're no longer part of that. That means that those of us that are, you threaten one of us, all of us come in together. So, Denmark is part of NATO. You want to take over Greenland? You think you're going to march into Greenland with an army? Give it a try because you're going to find all the other NATO countries that are going to be backing Denmark. And they're going to meet you at the shores in Greenland and they're going to say, Yankee, what do you want? Right? Who's going to fight? Let's assume that he says, yes, we need to go in and invade Greenland. Oh, okay. Are the the military people, are they going to stand behind you, seeing that they've just witnessed what happened to a lot of the veterans that lost their benefits and things? You think they're going to line up for that? That yes, I'm willing to put my life on the line, not for the Constitution, but for Cheeto? No. They put that there was, I think I read there was something like 21 different police forces who said, if things go sideways, don't come to us for help. We're not there. The police chiefs union, they backed him, they supported him, and now that he's said
Now
some of the
that
things that he has said.
isn't it interesting that he's so worried about getting all the terrible criminals that are coming to the border, the rapists, the drug addicts, the crazy people? We've got to get rid of him. They got to get rid of them. But that that he easily pardoned over
Yes.
1,500 people.
Yes.
Who were violent and had guns and used things as weapons, and people were killed.
Yes.
And he's saying, no, it's ridiculous. They've already spent their time in prison and they should be let out.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that, this is not going over well with anybody in this country. They're not happy about what he has done.
No, they're not. These are insurrectionists. They are cop killers. They are not the best of humanity. They are the worst of humanity. So,
and the guys that came out, they're talking, and they are just just assholes about it. They're not like, they're still sticking up for Trump. So he basically let his little army of con men out of prison to again back him up. All of these
they're a small group. They're a small group, and if it came down to picking sides, no, you want to put in the good portion of the military. You want to put in the police forces and so on. No, it is not going to work out well for you. And it's probably, maybe it'll take a handful of them to, kind of to be pew-pewed before it sinks in that this is not a good thing. So,
well, I think it might take a little bit of time to see how this is going to work out. But no, people are not there, the governors, the attorney generals, the people in the House and Senate. Right now, I see those people that I think they're scared. I think that they've been threatened, and I think that a lot of them have been threatened, and not just them personally, but their families. So they, he's got them in line to do what he wants to do. However, if they would just come together and realize, come on, you guys, this is not right. We can't do it this way. And like I said, if he just keeps digging himself in, which he will, he'll every day it's something new. Every day it gets a little more bizarre. And that is what is going to change things. I really think that, people have been talking about that he will not be in office very long.
No.
I'm hoping for that myself.
Yeah, it is. We are soon going to be reading his obituary. You can quote me on that. So, yeah, there's.
I don't get the same thing about that, but I know a lot of other people do, and if it works out that way, actually, that's kind of unfortunate because I feel like you do. I want him to pay the price. I want him to have to finally say, maybe I did go too far, or maybe I do have dementia, or maybe, that something like that comes up. I don't, I don't wish him an untimely demise. We'll see what happens. But I do see within the next couple of months.
Wow. Clarence, I hope that you are right. I hope that you are right.
And we just for the U.S., I just see that another couple months things will. It's just beginning. I mean, this has just started. It's just beginning to escalate. I just don't think it's going to. I might be wrong. My timing is terrible. I admit that. But when it does start to come, it is going to change at some point. It is going to change, and I think it's going to change sooner rather than later because if he is indeed, if people are being threatened, people in Congress, people in the Senate, if they and truly are, and I think they are, that one guy, I can't ever remember his name, but he came out and basically said that, well, no, indirectly said that him and his family were being threatened. So that's what keeps people, because I kept wondering, what are these people doing? Why hasn't somebody stopped this long before now? I still don't get it. But the Republicans are looking around like, oh, this is great. I think in the end, they're going to say, well, maybe some of this is not too great. Is he going to start a war in Greenland? Is he going to alienate Canada and Mexico? Is he just, in this thing about going against the Constitution? Mr. Trump, please do that. Keep with it. Keep with it. Let's just see what happens. Are we going to rewrite the Constitution for Donald Trump? I sure in the hell hope not.
Yeah. You know what? He is going to continue to do what he has always done, which is look after number one. He doesn't really care about anybody else, and he will throw anybody under the bus, including members of his own family, because that's what a narcissist does. They cannot comprehend that that what they're doing is wrong. They don't have the capacity to be ashamed for what they've done, right? They're looking for scapegoats. So let the world see him for what he is. He apparently communicated with Vladimir Putin via Truth Social by sending Putin a message about, the war in Ukraine. It has to stop. Okay? It has to stop. And he told us that within 24 hours of him being elected, he could put a stop to the war in Ukraine. Well, that 24 hours
he's going to put his foot down and he's going to enforce sanctions on Russia. Do you know Putin is just laughing?
Exactly. Because the U.S. has already put sanctions on Russia. So
exactly.
There is nothing there to sanction. There is nothing there to make Russia hurt or anything else. The only thing that happens is you're really going to anger Vladimir Putin a little more, so that he might do something stupid. You want to, pick a fight.
I don't know how Biden set this up, but hopefully he did set something up that we've continued to help financially with Ukraine, because that's what I think Trump's working up to that. Just okay, well, we're not. Here's your sanctions. We're not going to give any more airplanes or ammunition or money or anything to Ukraine. And that will be his answer, his response to something.
That's right.
Maybe he might do something else. It's not going to work. It's it's a half-hearted attempt. Just like getting back to the 1,500 people he pardoned, he did that to legitimize his own illegal activity. See, they should have never been in there in the first place and tried to say that he's not an insurrectionist. He is. And why in the world? It's so embarrassing right now to know that the leader of our country is a convicted felon 34 times. I mean, it's just an embarrassment how this
Yes.
could ever happen. This is why I'm so disappointed in the Democrats right now. I mean, I am a Democrat. I support Democrats generally, but right now I've had it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
butch up a little bit. Grow a pair. My goodness, this we're talking
Yeah.
about the country. We're talking about our democracy. And I'm sorry that maybe you've been threatened, but maybe that came with the job in the first place. This is your job.
Yeah.
You wanted to be elected to be a senator, a congressman, a representative, and now you need to stand up and do the right thing.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to be forced into having to do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully the sooner the better. Um,
Yeah.
and we can only. I don't know that this is going to happen, but the thing with the election, if they can actually find out for sure,
Yes.
if they get some intel on this election that proves that the election was stolen,
Mm-hmm.
it could change everything. But I don't,
It
I don't,
could.
I don't know if that's what's going to bring things down. But I do see
It
that there's going to
it
be
could. Yeah.
a lot of
It could.
conflict.
Yeah. I think that his supporters are going to need to have that come to Jesus moment, and they are going to need to suffer personally before that they will turn on him. And that's the only thing that is really going to get the message across is when they turn on him. Because a lot of other things you can give them, you can show them the proof. And you've heard me say before, for the believer no proof is necessary. For the non-believer no proof is sufficient. So it doesn't, you could lay it all out for them and tell them everything minute by minute, and they're going to go, nope, nope, didn't happen like that, fake news, nope, nope. I watch Fox News and they said blah blah blah. So they are going to have to get to that point where it hurts them personally before they get the message. The Yeah,
Somebody, Susan here on the chat line here says the Democrats need to listen to Bernie Sanders.
yes, they do.
Absolutely, they do. But Bernie has told us about the oligarchy since the 90s. He has
Yes,
told it over and over and over again.
yes.
And whether they listen or not, did they do a damn thing about it? No.
No.
And now it is here. This is it. This is a group of very, very wealthy people, along with the president,
Yes,
taking over our democracy. And
yes.
and all these other people are allowing it to happen. They're supporting him, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently they're afraid of him. Well, get over it, because we need you now. We need you to step up. We need you to do the right thing and support the Constitution like you promised to do, regardless of who told you otherwise. That's not the Constitution. You have to go by the law of the land. And this has
That
got to change.
Yep, that is true. That is very true, Cleo. Unfortunately, a lot of those that the majority of those politicians, whether they are Republican or Democrat, unfortunately, are they've got their hands in the pockets of their major donors and supporters. And they know that Mr. Big comes in and says, yeah, you know what, I don't want any of this released, and if you go along with this, that 2, 3, 4, $5 million that I generally donate, I'll be donating it to somebody else. They're going to think twice, because they have allowed the lobbyists and the money to speak louder than their morals. They are going to need to be brought down as well, before people realize that, to be of service to someone means um, to do that without needing to enrich yourself. Why is there so much money and invested in government, invested in getting certain laws passed to whatnot. There should be a maximum that you cannot get past. This is the you're allowed to canvass, you're allowed for whatever office you're going to be running for, you're allowed to have combined $500,000 in contributions. Once you reach $500,000, that's it, not a penny more. So that everyone then is playing with the level
we've already got a law like that, a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it, what they do is they skirt those laws. They skirt the. It's just like, well, I mean, I got I got told. I mean, I was so irritated that Melania Trump has gotten $40 million towards a book deal.
Yeah.
And and everybody told me, they said, no, that's just another way to for somebody to donate that kind of money to somebody. So, but anyway, I noticed here, McGrill, I love this. She says, maybe he will overdose. And then the next line, she says, for entertainment purposes only.
Of course. Yeah, that's all we do here is we discuss things.
This is all for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, exactly. Citizens United absolutely needs to go. The PACs need to go. No, that's it. There needs to be a clear separation between church and state. If you are a church and you want to be in politics and you want to be able to make suggestions to your flock on how they should vote for, then be prepared to start paying taxes. It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways. And there is no, the U.S. is a Christian nation. No, actually, a lot of your forebears came over because that's what they were trying to get away from, was that religious persecution. Hello, does nobody read history? You can't rewrite it. You can't make it what you want. And earlier, as I noticed, someone had mentioned that, Trump wants to consider the indigenous people in America as not citizens.
Oh man! Oh wow! No, that's not going to fly. No, we took over their land. It wasn't the other way around.
No.
And we all know, and so many things throughout history where we've tried to pay them back and do different things.
Yes.
Boy, that's just that's really, talk about overstepping things. Oh my God, that just can't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And Janet, thank you for sharing that, because that is actually, I was going to bring that up. The Goods United app for your phone can tell you what companies donate to Democrats and Republicans. Start making some of your decisions with your wallet. And be prepared that, you might, for some things that you're buying, you might need to pay a little more so that you can go with the people who support your cause. Yes, it might mean an extra few dollars now, but would you rather pay a lot more dollars later on? Decisions have to be made. There is no magical savior who's going to come down from on high and say, you know what, my children, I have heard your pleas and I am here to answer all prayers. I will fix everything. I am your savior. That's not going to happen. Every person is going to need to do their own research, use their own discernment, make decisions for themselves that are going to align with what it is that they absolutely believe in. And it's going to require a lot of people with independent thinking to um, kind of band together to come together and say, enough, we are going to save ourselves.
Well, and I think a lot of people, especially in our chat section, are saying this is enough already. This is,
Yes.
this is a lot more than anybody wanted to deal with.
Yeah.
This thing with Trump can go to where he bankrupts the country,
Mm-hmm.
and well, it just causes a lot of problems. But I mean, when that happens, we are the ones that suffer. He doesn't suffer.
No,
The guy from Facebook, he doesn't suffer.
no,
Amazon, that guy Bezos, he doesn't suffer.
no,
And all these, very very rich people, they don't
no,
suffer.
no.
But we will. We're the ones that are going to have to
Yes.
pay the higher price. We're the ones that are going to have to be worried about
Yeah.
making enough money to eat, let alone keep a roof over our heads.
Yes.
So that's why I do think, because I see into the future that this is not going to be that way. It's not.
Yeah.
We might hear for the next couple of months go through some periods that were just, it really scares the hell out of us, which it basically already has. But as time goes by, I think that things are going to get corrected. But my timing is terrible. I keep telling you that. Don't bank on my timing. I don't know for sure on the timing. I mean, I thought it was going to happen before the inauguration.
Yes.
It did not happen. Oh, and the reason I found out why it did not happen is because it's not meant to happen. The things that we're got to correct. I mean, we're talking about some massive, huge things that are going on here. In order to correct those problems, if we could have, something could have happened that would change it where Harris ended up being president, but it would not have solved any problems. It would still have the same problems. So it kind of has to go in this horrible way for a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're just asking everybody to hang in there, because it's gonna, we all last year was a pain in the ass. It doesn't get much better right now, because of it's gonna just take some more time. It's gonna the whole thing, and I know that people want to know, is it at all possible that Kamala Harris could be president again? And I'm saying that I can't answer that question right yet, but I do know that Kamala is in on what's going to be transpiring. But logic tells me that no, once Trump was in, and that's why I thought that this would happen before that happened. But once he was inaugurated, he's in, and then it's Vance, and it's this whole big mess. However, I've also said that whatever's going to happen is something we've never seen before. It's shocking, but on the other hand, it'll be like, wow, okay, and it will change rather fast once everything gets in alignment.
Yes.
Astrologically speaking, that alignment could come up in March. I am not. That's other people talking. I don't know anything about astrology. But if that's they're seeing a lot of changes in March. So, but I don't want everybody just to be waiting. When in the hell is something going to happen? It will happen. I do see definitely before the end of this year, probably into the summertime, when we're going to be able to see a lot more things changing for the better. But I just don't want to say something crazy like, they're going to end up having Kamala Harris in there. I don't know that at all. I don't think, it doesn't seem to me like a likely thing that could happen, especially the way that things are right now. But then again, like I said, something is happening here. It's in the works that is so much different than anything we've ever seen before. And I think by Trump doing these things, like, going against the Constitution and stuff, that's just not going to fly. I mean, they're all his Republican buddies and the mega people. They're all supportive of him. But when you take it too far, and when you're just talking about indigenous people, please, oh my God, what are you talking about? But those kind of things is where the people start going, uh-oh, no. And maybe they do rise up and finally, do the right thing. But no, there is stuff going on that that has been going on for a while now that will
Yep.
change everything
Yep.
for the best.
Absolutely. Yeah. And people, you know what? Start getting involved on a grassroots level at your local level. Okay. Find out who's who's running for what, who's talking about what, where are they getting their information, what are some of their sources. Um, there are, you don't have to think about doing one great big gigantic movement that is going to change the world. But if everyone does just a teeny tiny little bit towards that, collectively, we can see the change that we want to see. And
And
it's
if,
not just for you in the US. It's for us up here in Canada as well. I mean, we've got our own, Trump 2.0, who is running for prime minister. And
yeah,
our job now is looking at worst case scenario, if he is elected, to ensure that he does not have a majority government to keep him in check.
right.
So, it's a worldwide thing.
It is. It is. That's the other thing. It's a worldwide thing. So collecting all the information that's needed, it's going to take some time because it is a worldwide thing. But I
Yes.
did want to say to the people in the chat section that if this stuff is just bringing you down and wearing you out,
Mm-hmm.
there is hope on the horizon. However, in the meantime, take care of yourself.
Yes.
You may not want to get involved with a big group of people or anything like that. You might just want to just get away from the news, get away from the
Yes.
internet, because
Yes.
every day is going to be something new, and so you
Yes.
just see things that just irritate you, and if it sticks with you, it's not a healthy environment, and you need to keep
Yes.
yourself positive. You need to keep your own health up and not allow outside craziness to
No.
totally be obsessed in your life. I mean, it's just not good, not healthy. And
No. And just remember what it was like in high school during the times when we had high school dances. And someone would approach you and say, would you like to dance? You had a choice. You could say, yeah, sure, I would. Or you could say, no. Well, this is the same thing. The information that you're going to be hearing, that the news that is coming at you, if it makes you feel bad, disengage from it. Say, no, not doing it. No, I'm going to go online and I'm going to Google funny cat and dog videos. And that's what I'm going to
that's
watch.
the other thing I do on YouTube. Yeah, get
Yes,
into the cat and dog videos. Yeah.
exactly. Well, just
Somebody here
that.
said I am now scared he took away civil rights and gay rights, and then somebody else says I'm one ticked off vet and I will not be silent anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he took. Somebody says he took
Yeah,
away all our rights. Okay, he took away. He is working on all of that to have
yeah,
that happen. But don't let him take away you. Don't let him take
yeah,
away your identity, who you are, what you
yeah,
do, and what you believe in, what you stand for. Because
exactly.
it will be good over evil in the end.
Yes,
And it's
absolutely it
always
will.
darkest before the dawn. And
Yeah,
that's kind of where we're at right now. It'll get better. Really will get better, but it's not going to get better overnight.
no.
This is a process we have to go through. And hopefully, when all the stars align and all the planets come into play, they will get this right and we will clear up the problem and change things.
Yes.
Um, it'll change and it would be for the better.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
And
Just
democracy will reign, not this authoritarian oligarchy. It's just craziness.
yes. Yes, Laura Hammond Davis. Government doesn't bestow rights. We assume our own natural divine rights. Exactly. So, you want to speak up, You speak up. You don't know how many other people in the room are going to agree with you and say, "Oh, I'm so glad you said that." Right? So, yeah, look forward. One of the messages that I got today before the Messages for Lightworkers show, and this came early in the day, was hold the line, hold the line. Don't give up, hold the line.
Yes.
So that's it. Now, especially when it feels and looks like, you know, if you think that all hope is gone, that's the time to tie a knot at the end of the rope, hang on for dear life, and say, one more day, and yeah, keep fighting. So it will get better. It absolutely will. Yeah. Yeah. Or yes, Aspie, like hold the door. Yes. Yeah. So Cleo, thank you for joining me and 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 doing this again. It's so lovely.
I'm glad we could get this back together.
Yeah,
I like kitchen table issues. I
I
like
do
the way
too.
we've been doing this, and I hope we can keep it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for those of you that are here that have joined us, thank you for sharing part of your evening with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you go over to Cleo's channel and do the same thing.
Please.
Um, yeah. And yes, Moonstone Girl. Yeah, they can try. And you know what? I'm going to appoint myself Queen of the Universe. It's gonna be by executive order, which means it has to happen, right? So,
Yeah, there's no reason to, and not only y'all be amazed if he makes it, 6 months, let alone a third term. So, and yeah,
exactly.
thanks you guys. I love your input, and I
Yeah.
hope we can if the worst push comes to shove, at least have these shows where you guys can tell us what's on your mind, and
Yes.
we can try to get a little bit calmer and a little more
Yep.
confidence in where we're going with this. That is not as this is what my guides keep telling me. It's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah.
And I hope this time I'm hearing them right because that I, I hope so. I hope so.
Hold the line. Hold the line. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. So, yeah, take care, all.
Bye
Bye.
bye.